Hello everyone, in this video I will explain about the basics of Ucupaint. Ucupaint is a free Blender add-on for managing or painting layers similar to GIMP or Photoshop but in 3D space. This add-on will work with the Cycles or Eevee renderer, and you need at least Blender 2.79 to use this add-on. But more advanced features are only available on modern version of Blender. In this case I will be using the latest version of Blender, which is 3.2. So yeah, you can download the Ucupaint on the link on the description below. If you have already installed the add-on, you can go to Ucupaint tab on your end panel or properties panel right here. Before you click on this button, make sure you are on the viewport shading. And I think I will just use Suzanne for this demo. And I will also use subdivision surface and set smooth. Also make sure that your model is already has a proper UV, so I will check it by opening the UV editor. So I will go to edit mode. As you can see, there is already a proper UV for this Suzanne model, so we are good to go. So we can just click on this quick setup button, and you'll be given with this channels option that you can use. I think the default one is fine, so I will just click OK. Now as you can see, there is two panel here. The first one is channels that you can use and the layers that you will paint or edit or something. So yeah, let's try to create a new layer. To create a new layer, you need to click on this plus button, and as you can see, there is several options right here. I think since this is a basic introduction of Ucupaint, so I will just use the simpler one, which is new image. Okay. If I click that, there is another option right here. This will be the name of your layer. This one the channel you will be using, and this one is the resolution of your layer. And this one is for UV method you will be using, and the last one is image atlas. I will explain about this later, so I will just click OK for now. Okay, as you can see, it will be created a new image. Since we are using image atlas, I will explain more about this later. We can start painting, I guess. So we can just go to the texture paint. Let's try to paint Blender logo or something. Yeah, probably something like this. So this layer will sit on top of this base value. So this one is actually the background value of your Ucupaint node setup. So if I click this and I change the color, as you can see, the background color is sit below your layer. I will try to use blue, for example. If I enable and or disable, as you can see, your layer is sit on top of your background. Okay. Let's try to create another layer. I will just use another image. The name will be season layer 1. I will just click OK. Probably I will paint this dark blue or something. So this layer is still on top of the first layer that we created before. So it will sit on top of the first layer. So we can move this below by clicking on this button here. As you can see, now the layer that we just painted now is below the first layer that we created before. You can create some kind of shadow of something here. So you can up or down your layer right here, as you can see. So now let's try to, this one is kind of, what is it? The color is kind of not clean enough. Let's try to erase some part of this. So currently Blender doesn't have eraser brush by default, at least in this version 3.2. So I created this toggle eraser button to toggle the eraser and the current brush that you're using. I will just click toggle eraser. As you can see, it will change your brush type to erase alpha. And I can just erase this. I will make this a little bit cleaner. If I go back to the toggle eraser again, as you can see, it will go back to mix. I think this one is a little bit need more fixing again. So I will paint. Okay, as you can see, I'm using the blue brush because we paint the blue layer before. So I will just use the color picker and try to pick this color and try to paint again. Uh, if you are noticed, there is something wrong with the color that I'm using right now because the color is a little bit different now. That's because the color picker that Blender use is actually picking the value of the final pixel that visible on the screen. So it will has a different color than the actual layer that we are using right now. So to get around that, I created this preview mode. So this preview mode is to show you the actual value of your layer right here. So it also creates this kind of nice grid effects. You can see the effect of the layer itself. So if I click the another layer, as you can see, this is the second layer that we created before, and this is the first one. So if I use the color picker right here, and I will go out of preview mode. As you can see, the color is correct now because we pick the actual color from the layer. So I think I will make this a little bit cleaner so it will looks nicer. Okay, maybe I will also clean this a little bit. Okay, I'm sorry. I will toggle eraser. And since I won't paint the blue again, I will just use color picker on preview mode. I think I will also want to clean this. Okay, maybe it's not perfect, but I think it's a nice demo for the use case for this layer. Okay, next, this is the option for your intensity of your layer. And this one is for blending of your layer. So if I, for example, if I change this to add, as you can see, it will change the behavior of your layer itself. So you can change it right here. Yeah, this one is for intensity and this one is for blending modes. Okay, the next one is masking. So you can also create a mask for your layer. If you already have used Photoshop or GIMP, that's a similar concept with the mask on Photoshop or GIMP. You can create mask by clicking on this plus button. As you can see, there is another option that you can use for a mask. I will just use the simpler one, which is the image mask. I will just click new image mask. And there is another options that similar when we are creating a new layer. You can set the resolution, the UV map and image atlas. But this one is actually has another option, which is the color of the mask. So there is option which are white and black. So white is to make your mask has the default color of white. So your layer will be visible by default. And the black, the layer will be invisible by default. I hope that understandable. I think I will just use white for now. Okay. Okay. Blender is actually has two color for the brush, so I can just flip this by using X button on your keyboard. So if I paint black right here, I will just probably demo it. Simpler one, something like this. As you can see now, the layer is actually kind of erased right here, but you can actually go back again. For example, I will use the white brush. It will go back again if we paint it white, as you can see. If I using black, it will make your layer invisible. Okay. Okay, you can still edit the actual layer by clicking this. So if I click this one is to edit the mask, and if I click this one is to edit the layer itself. Okay, I will go to preview mode first. So I can create the, if I try to paint this, as you can see, this one is actually the mask. So If I paint it like this, it won't be visible because this is the mask that we are created just now. Okay, I will undo this. Okay, I will go to object mode for now. Oh yeah, we can also create another mask. So a single layer can actually use more than one mask. Let's just try it. Click this plus button again. I will create another mask. So I will just go to edit mode again. For example, I want to, okay, I will use a black brush. For example, I want to create some pattern like this. So there is enable or disable button toggle here. So if I disable right here, as you can see, now it's only affect this second mask. If I disable the first one, okay, as you can see, it will affect only the first mask that we created. We can also we can change the which one mask that we edit, the active one, by clicking on this icon here, right here. If you are not really sure which one is it, you can also preview the mask itself by clicking on this. Go to preview mode first, I guess, and change it to specific mask. So this is the second mask that we created, and this is the first mask. Okay, so just to make sure which one you clicking, you can check it by using preview mode. I hope that's understandable. Okay, I think I will just disable this, I guess. So I will explain about image atlas that I mentioned before. So I will just go to object mode again. As you can see in this image, the image atlas image right here, as you can see, it actually has the first and the second data for these two layers. So if I go to, as you can see, this is the first layer that we painted, and this is the second layer we painted, and it's all in the same image, I guess. The reason for using image atlas is because Blender currently, at least in the version 3.2, it can only use, I think it's about 18 or 20 maximum number of image per material. So if you then use image atlas, it will create a single layer for every layer or mask. So you can only have a limited amount of layer if you are not using image atlas. Oh, okay, we can also check the image atlas itself. So if I go to edit mode, as you can see, this image atlas, this layer will be using only this part of the image, and this layer, it's only this part of the image. As you can see, the add-on will create this temporary UV that we'll be using for painting. Okay, I hope that's understandable. Okay, next I will explain about saving. So as you can see, there is a star or asterisk image on your layer right here. This means your layer is not saved yet. So you can save it by manually go to this button. As you can see, there is pack, save, or save or pack all right here. So rather than just do that, we can also just save the blend file itself. So I will just save the file. So as you can see now, the layer will be packed automatically when you are saving your files. So there will be no warning when you're forgot to save or something. Okay, next, let's try to paint the eyeball. So the Susan will be looking nicer, I guess. So I will just click new image and I will paint this. Okay, if you are not familiar with the Blender texture paint, you can also mask natively on Blender. You can just go to edit mode and hide the other parts of your model. And I will go to texture paint and just click this. As you can see, it will only show you the eyes. So I will paint the eyes. I think I will just use white color. Also this one. I will just paint this. So if I go to object mode again, as you can see now, the eyes will be white. So let's try to create, maybe I will name this white eyeballs, uh, just to make sure. So let's try to create another type of layer. So let's try to create iris by using solid color. So let's try to create a layer by the type of solid color first. It will has a simpler option right here. Okay, maybe the iris will be probably purple or something. Okay, I will just click OK. Okay, as you can see now, the solid color will override all the, it will use all the surface of your mesh. But we can just create a mask here. And let's try to create new image mask. And change the default, rather than white like before, we can use black. So it will be invisible by default. I will just click OK. And we can just paint the iris, I guess. Okay, something like this. Also on the other side, the eyes. Yeah, I will go to edit mode. As you can see now, the monkey have the iris. The nice thing about solid color is you can change it after you paint the mask or the layer itself. So I can change the color of your iris for something else by using this value. Okay. So let's try to create another solid color, but rather than just create the solid color and adding mask manually, you can also just use solid color with image mask. So this one will be automatically create the mask. So you can just create, for example, I want to create a pupil, so it will be rather darker color. So it will also create a mask right here, and this is the setting. So the resolution and everything, UV, the image atlas, I will just click OK. And I can paint it. I can simply paint it rather than add the mask manually, something like this. Okay. Okay, as you can see now, we can also, just like before, we can change the value of your pupil. For example, I want to make it brown. Okay, I think I will just save the file first, just in case. I will name this demo2. Okay, it will also pack the mask that we already created before. So the next thing, currently we only use single channel only, this one, the color channel. So how to use the another channel like metallic, roughness, or normal? So I think I will demo it on this layer, the iris. We can use this layer for setting the roughness. For example, the eyes is usually has a more shiny appearance, so we need to edit this part of the layer so it will be more reflective, I guess. So we can use this toggle to show you all the channels that are available on your Ucupaint node setup. So I can just click this roughness. So now the layer will be using its value for the roughness channel. Currently it uses the red color. So okay, maybe before we are continue, I will show you, we can also preview all the result of your channel. So this one is for the color. This is metallic roughness. As you can see now, it changed the value of the of this part. So it will actually use the red color since we set this solid color to red. But since the roughness is only take a grayscale value, so it will show you a little bit dark like this. But what if we want to set the value of this iris exactly like you want? You can also use this override. So you can expand this. If you are seeing like this, there is a triangle right here, small triangle like this. It means you can expand this icon. So there is another option right here. I can just click this. If you enable the override, it will set this part of your layer to be using this one value. So I can just set it to whatever value I want. For example, this one, I can change it to 0.2 for example, or 0.1. It will be more reflective than before. As you can see, it can be really useful to set your certain parts of your layer to use certain value. As you can see, it only affect this value. The white part is not affected. I think rather than set is on the iris, I think we can just set this roughness value on the white eyeball since it will affect all the path right here. So I can just set this roughness right here, and I will expand this option. I will set it to a smaller value. As you can see now, this one is also use the lower roughness. If I go to edit mode, I mean preview mode, as you can see now the value of the eyeballs itself, it's lower, so it will be more shiny. Okay, before I think I will also explain about another. So we can preview this. You can preview the roughness, as you can see, or color. Currently metallic or normal has no layer using it. It probably has the default value. So if I go to preview mode right here, as you can see, it's actually linked to the, what is it, the channel you choose. If I choose metallic right here, it will show you the kind of violet or pink value. It means this layer is not using a metallic channel right here. Just make sure if you want to check your preview mode on your layer, you choose the correct channel right here. So as you can see, this one is the iris and the pupil, and this one the eyeballs. So if I choose the roughness here, because this layer is not using roughness, it will be show you red color like this. Okay, I hope that's understandable. I will disable it again. So the next thing, okay, let's try to, we already try roughness. So metallic is understandable, right? If you tweak the background, it will make your object is kind of metal. So I will just set it to 0. Let's try to create another layer. I think I will just use standard new image. And we will try to paint some normal, using normal channel. Okay, I will enable this normal channel. So I will go to texture paint. I can just unhide the monkey itself by using Alt H. Let's try to paint something using normal channel. Please notice that I'm using white brush right now. So as you can see now, I can create some kind of, what is it, disease or something on this Suzanne monkey. As you can see, the value of white is actually will make your surface a little bit bumpy like this. Okay, I can erase this. For example, I will also make this. Okay. So you can expand this. As you can see, it uses this layer is using bump map. You can set the value itself, the maximum value, by tweaking this value. As you can see, it will looks more bumpy if we change this value. This is the value of the maximum height of the normal map itself. So bump map will take white value as the bump up. So if I change the brush for black, it will create some kind of file right here. For example, I want to create, I don't know, nose or something. You can use this value. So the value here is the rank between the black and the white value. So this is the maximum height of your bump value. Okay, I hope that's understandable. Oh yeah, we can disable the color right here, so it will only show you the normal itself. And maybe I will also tweak the height. Okay, this is looking fine. Maybe I can just erase this one. It's looking kind of funny. Okay, so let's try to create another image. I think I will create some kind of mustache right here. I will also use normal. Okay, probably something like this. Let's try to create a mustache right here. Okay, we can also use smear to make probably the bottom part a little bit smoother or something. Okay, maybe I will erase this one. So this one is using the white value, so the color itself will be white. So what if we want to change the color of this mustache? We can do similar thing like before. So we can just use override and change the value of this layer to whatever value we want. For example, the monkey will be using blue mustache or something, and probably the mustache will be metallic. So we can change. We can also use the override. Maybe that's not that visible, I guess. Maybe we can change also the roughness. So this is will be a metallic mustache, I guess, as you can see. Okay. I hope this kind of system is understandable. So the next thing that I will show you, you can also create ambient occlusion. It will gives you a lot of settings. I can just use okay. Okay, let's wait a little bit while because this is using the Blender baking system. As you can see, there is a AO on our layer now. So if I go to preview mode, as you can see, there is a AO here. If I disable this, okay. If you want to change the settings, rebake this again, you can expand this and expand this again. There is a rebake button right here. And we can change, for example, I want the sample will be higher. Probably the result is grainy or something. We can up the value right here. So we'll check okay. Just let wait a little bit. It will take a while to bake. Okay. As you can see, now it will supposed to be more smoother, I guess. So yeah, this kind of lot of this layer types, you can check it on the wiki or documentation. I'll link in the description. So for more detail about this. So I think I will demo another layer type, paint base. So if I can just click OK. This one will be create this kind of effect right here. This can be really useful for another type of blending other than mix, probably overlay. As you can see, it's created some kind of nice color on your mesh. Okay, I think I will save this to another file just in case. So I will show you, this is the last part, I guess, for this basic video. So I will go to shader editor. So this system, this Ucupaint node, is actually inside this node setup. So as you can see, it's a little bit complex, but don't edit this manually. So this one, this node setup is actually read by this add-on. So if you change this setup manually, it can crash your node setup. So this one, as you can see, if I change the value of the background, as you can see, it's also changed the node setup right here. For example, I want to tweak the color a little bit. You can see if I change this metallic, as you can see, it's also changed the node setup. So it's kind of linked. This one is actually linked right here. So if you can see, the normal value is a little bit weird. It uses 999. Just ignore that because it's kind of hacked to make this node setup work. So you can connect this with your another normal value or something, but don't change this value manually, I guess. Okay. The next thing that I will show you. So this is your result, right? So you want to send it to your client or you want to use this to your game engine. So you need to bake this all channel and layer setup to single texture. So how can you do that? You can do that by using this. So this button right here. So you can bake all channels and you will be given with this option. There will be the real solution of your final textures. So I will just click OK. Okay, as you can see, if I go to, as you can see, it will create this kind of layer. This one is metallic since the mustache is using metallic. The roughness. the eyes and the mustache, and the normal is right here. Okay. Okay, you can go back to edit the layer again using this button. If I click it, as you can see, now you can edit the layer again, like before. But if you create a change on this layer, you can just back it again using the same way, back all channels, and it will update your back setup. Okay. By default, if I save this file, this texture will be packed inside your blend file. So if we want to save it to another place, we can just unpack this. There is an option for unpack this Ucupaint Session color, or you can just use save all back image too. So it will save all your back channels. So I will just, I think I will create new folder here called textures. So I will save all back image right here. Now it will, as you can see, now the image is saved to separate files right here, color, metallic. There is a displacement, but I think if you don't actually use displacement, you can just use the normal texture instead. So, okay, by default, the image itself is actually reset here in your node setup. So if you are exporting to your game engine or something, it probably won't be read if it's inside another node group. So there is a button right here. There is enable back outside. So if I click it, it will make your image outside of your node setup, and it will be outside like this. Okay. Another thing, if for example, you want to send this file to your client or something, and you don't want to also send the actual layer itself, you can also delete this. It will remove all the Ucupaint node, but it still has this image atlas file, right? Because we only delete the node groups, not the image itself. So rather than just do that, there is also option to remove a Ucupaint node. So if I click this, it will remove all your actual layer files. So you can safely send this to your client or something. Okay. Don't forget, if you accidentally save this, the Ucupaint node is already deleted. So make sure you save this file to another file so you don't accidentally delete all your layer and everything. Okay. Okay, I think that's it for the basic video of Ucupaint. I hope this add-on can be useful for you. If you have any question about this add-on, please tell me in the comment section below. I will try to answer it if I can. The Ucupaint actually has a lot more feature than this, so probably I will explain it in the another video or stream, I guess, if I had the time to do that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a nice day and see you later. Bye.